Hello and welcome to today's bonus video. I wanted to make sure to get this holiday content out to you in time, so I thought I'd throw a little something extra at you this week. If this is your first time here, I'm Amber. I make Kinda Crunchy motherhood and lifestyle videos. If you like that sort of content, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'd love to see you here more often. The holidays are right around the corner, and if you are anything like me, you are 50% really excited and 50% stressed and kind of panicking, or maybe you're just like 100% one way or the other. And if that's the case, I hope you're just 100% excited, but I'm guessing maybe not, since you are in fact watching this video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the 3 things that stress me out about the holidays and how I am navigating them and trying to work on my mindset around these things to make the holidays way more enjoyable and way less stressful. The first thing is gifts, and I'm actually going to separate this into 2 categories: gifts for kids and gifts for adults, because they stress me out in different ways. So first is gifts for kids. What gets me is how many gifts are too much, but then like what is not enough. And I realize that there's no actual way to like quantify what's too much or what's not enough. And that's what I guess kind of stresses me out, being kind of type A and kind of analytical, because I want my son and any future kids I have to feel loved and special and excited, but I don't want to make Christmas just about the gifts. And I'm aware that whether you get your kids 5, 10, or 20 gifts, they are going to be excited about gifts no matter what. The thing for me is I want Christmas to be about togetherness and giving, but I don't want to make it just about the material consumerism giving, if that makes sense. So I've been tossing around ideas in my head basically all month, trying to figure out like, what do I want to do? And the good thing is right now both of our kids are more aware than last year, but they're still not like fully aware of what's going on. So we still, or I should say I am like lumping my sister in with me, I still have time to figure out exactly how I want to approach this. And I see a lot of people that do the like something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read, which I think is a good idea. I saw Kayla Nicholson posted one on Instagram and I actually saved it, and it was that, but she added like a couple extra categories. So I think that I'm probably gonna use like one of those little things kind of as like a guideline. But I think the thing that I'm trying to focus on with my son and my niece as well is getting them things that they want or need, but then like that's it. Maybe a few extra little treat things or a couple things that they might like, but how do I say this? I don't want to just start getting them extra like just because like, oh, you may or may not like this kind of a thing. I feel like just getting them some things that they want and need is like not enough, and like there has to be more. And then I just think to myself like, why does there have to be more? You know, who decided that that is not enough? That's kind of where I'm at right now with this. I am trying to focus on not feeling like I need to go overboard to make it special, and especially when going overboard is just like getting little trinkets, like those types of things that they're going to like for a couple days or maybe a week and then never touch again, because then like why, you know? So then we have gifts for adults, and this is difficult in a different way because it's just so easy to get what you need or want like in a day, especially with Amazon, where like a lot of things are really, really cheap. And that's definitely the case in my family, where I would say that pretty much everybody has just about everything that they need and want. So I have tried to suggest, like for the adults, a white elephant gift exchange, and that was a hard no. So if your family is more open-minded than mine, that could always be something to suggest, because I actually think that would be like a really fun game, and you could get something useful or something that you need or want. But for us, that's a no. So if your family is like mine, okay, I am to the point now where if I genuinely cannot think of something that you need or want that I can actually afford, I'm not getting you anything. Like that's where we're at here, because I do not want to gift people just like meaningless junk strictly out of obligation. That to me is not what Christmas is about. That's what consumerism is about. If there's something meaningful and affordable that I can get people in my family, happy to do it. But if not, I just don't think it's worth it, right? And the same is true for me. I don't want people to get me things just because. And actually, I have a huge pile of workout clothes right now that a lot of which have been gifted to me for Christmas because I'm assuming people just didn't know what to get me. So I'm like, should I donate? Should I just put them away? Should I try to sell them? And the struggle is that a lot of these were gifts from the past like 2-3 years. So it's like, ugh. But that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't want to get people just junk because this is what happens to things like that, or it just sits in some cupboard or cabinet in your house, never to see the light of day. And what's the point of that? There's so many different ways to give, whether it's giving your time, donating, you could like take clothes and toys to like a homeless shelter or to Goodwill or something like that. There's so many other ways to give other than just buying presents, And so I think that if you can get meaningful, affordable gifts, great, do it. But if not, I think don't worry about that. And honestly, like if your family doesn't love that, this is just my opinion, that's not your problem. The next thing is traveling. I know a lot of people travel for the holidays. Alex and I do. When we lived in Arizona, we used to drive from there to California. Now we live in Colorado, so we fly. And whether you're driving or flying, they both have their pros and cons, but I think both can absolutely be stressful, especially around the holidays. Pro tip though, if you are driving, leave if you feel like you can handle it when your kids would normally go to bed. So 20 minutes before we left, I would do his whole nighttime routine and Alex would be packing up the car. So like diaper change, put him in his pajamas, read him a story, nurse, get him good and drowsy, and then put him in the car seat instead of in his crib. And every kid is different, but in our experience, every time we did that, he slept the entire drive because that's normally when they'd be sleeping anyway. And like we were driving late at night. So that's why I say only do this if you really feel like you could handle it, because safety is more important than your kids being like asleep or whatever. But we didn't want to deal with either him being awake and being fussy because he's used to being able to like move and wiggle around, or sleeping the whole drive and then not wanting to sleep at night once we get there. So that worked out the best for us. Plus, if there's two of you, then you can switch off driving. You can like listen to podcasts that are fun that you can like kind of talk about. That's what Alex and I do. Stuff you should know. Great road trip podcast, whether you're flying or driving. I heard this on a video from Hey Shayla recently, love her, and she was saying, not with regards to traveling, but just in general, instead of thinking about how am I going to get through this, think about how do I want to get through this. And I think when it comes to this sort of thing, that is a really good mindset to have. So right now for me, that looks like making a list of all the things that we need to take. So I'm not stressing out last minute trying to make sure that I have everything. It's nice and organized and I can like check off everything as I pack them. Cleaning a little bit like a day or two before so we have a nice clean home to come back to. Packing the night before. Everything. I told Alex, I want every single thing other than the things we need to use the next day packed and ready to go, so we're not scrambling trying to get any last minute packing done the day we need to leave. And focusing on the togetherness aspect of Christmas, right? You're taking time to go be with your family and your friends, and that's really what it's about. So try to focus on those things instead of just the stress of traveling. Okay, and the last one is family drama, which I hope you don't have this, but I know so many people do. I definitely have experienced this in my family. And I think the best tip for this is to not premeditate what's gonna happen. I caught myself doing this the other day. I was just sitting here on the couch thinking about us going out to California for Christmas, and I found myself going, I already know they're gonna say this, and then I'm gonna say this, and then they're gonna say this. And I was getting frustrated over something that hasn't even happened yet. So once I caught myself, I was like, stop. When you do that, you are allowing yourself to get in a frustrated headspace before anything has even happened. And the hard truth of the matter with these types of things is you have no control over what other people do or say. All you have is control over how you respond to the situation. So premeditating it actually might almost like manifest it into existence, because if you walk into your family's house already kind of frustrated because you've already played out how things are going to go in your head, you are much more likely to be short and snappy over something that's like really, really small that maybe wouldn't cause like a big thing. If you are going to premeditate anything, I would suggest thinking about how you would like to calmly and mindfully respond, not react, to any unwelcome situations. And I wouldn't even like delve too deep into what those situations might be. So for example, I'm not gonna even go too deep into this, but I already have a response for any unwelcome comments that may or may not be made to me. And I'm just going to leave it at that, and that is it. And similar to traveling, I think it's important to focus your mindset on togetherness and being with your family. And even though sometimes family can be kind of annoying, or they can make comments or jokes that you might not love, you still love them and you're still choosing to go out there and be with them, or they're coming to you or whatever. So focusing on that is so crucial. So that is all I have for you. I hope this is helpful for you if you are kind of stressed and anxious about the holidays. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.